Another day, another hypocritical US report lecturing India, while conveniently ignoring America's own intelligence operations. Here's why I say this. On Tuesday, a US panel on religious freedom recommended sanctions to be imposed on India's external spy agency, RAW. Why, if you wonder? For the alleged mistreatment of minorities in India. The panel, which is based in Washington, D.C., wants to sanction RAW over its alleged involvement in the assassination plots against Khalistani separatists and extremists overseas. The U.S. panel in question is USCIRF, or U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. In its latest report, it has painted India's external intelligence agency as some sort of a rogue agency. Just a quick reminder here, India's RAW, or the Research and Analysis Wing, is tasked with gathering foreign intelligence, counter-terrorism, counter-proliferation, advising Indian policymakers and also advancing India's foreign strategic interests. But now, the USCIRF has accused it of overreach. And the Sikh separatists the panel shows so much sympathy for, they are terrorists in the eyes of Indian law. We are talking about a group of people who have publicly stated goals of carving out a separate country for itself, right out of the heart of India. A group of people that have targeted Indian embassies and envoys abroad. A group of people that call for the destruction of India. Naturally, New Delhi has rejected the allegations outright. The Indian government has slammed the report as yet another politically motivated attack. In response to the panel's recommendations to sanction RAW, India said it is USCIRF that should be designated internationally as an entity of concern and not RAW, especially for its repeated pattern of biased and politically motivated assessments and misrepresentation of facts. The Indian government's external affairs also raised concerns about the authenticity of this body because of its agenda-based claims. India also questioned if at all the USCIRF is even genuine in its work and whether it's truly concerned over religious freedom or not. So this is not the first time that USCIRF has made such claims against India. It is a habitual offender with a pattern of making biased and politically motivated statements, especially when it comes to India. In the past, the US agency has urged US government to designate India as a country of particular concern. It has recommended that the US government should conduct a review assessing whether arms sales to India may contribute or exacerbate religious freedom violations. And this comes after last October, where India sealed a massive deal with the US to acquire 31 Predator drones. The drones would help India strengthen its military's combat and surveillance capabilities, especially along the border with China, where Chinese troops have repeatedly tried to alter the status quo and make encroachments. And so, while the USCIRF is a bipartisan US government advisory body, its recommendations are not binding on the government. The group says it monitors religious freedom abroad and makes policy recommendations. But its reports and recommendations have consistently felt biased. While it has questioned religious freedom in India, it has never recommended sanctioning an Indian government agency. And so, this latest report is all the more astonishing. But the question being, what about the CIA's global covert wars? Would the USCIRF dare recommend sanctioning CIA for its operations in Afghanistan, Latin America and beyond? If credibility and accountability is what USCIRF is searching for, it might want to start by looking in the mirror first. Shifting our focus now to Taiwan, where a Chinese influencer has been deported from Taiwan back to her own country. Why? After she heaped praise for Beijing online. The influencer backed Beijing's ambitions to conquer Taiwan by force. Liu Zhenya, who is married to a Taiwanese man and is a mother of 3, boarded a flight to China on Tuesday evening. She had been ordered by Taiwanese authorities to leave the country. But what was her fault? You see, as an influencer, Liu posts videos online, one of them that allegedly supported the idea of a Chinese military takeover. And that ended up getting her into trouble. In that ill-fated video, she said, and I'm quoting here, "Maybe when we wake up tomorrow morning, the island will already be covered with 5-star red flags, and it makes me happy even just thinking about it," unquote. From her remark, it is not difficult to make out that she was talking about the Chinese national flag. Taiwanese immigration officials obviously took strong objection to that, saying that Liu advocated the elimination of Taiwan's sovereignty. Liu was asked to leave Taiwan right away. And this marks the first such episode when Taiwan ordered the Chinese spouse of a local person deported over national security concerns. This has reportedly been done to step up efforts to counter Beijing's propaganda. The question being, will there be other such cases too ahead in Taiwan? As per official data, some 367,000 Chinese people have Taiwanese spouses. And this particular incident only indicates that Taiwan is on guard against pro-China talk. The deportation incident put the focus on the challenge for Taiwan to strike a fine balance between protecting their democracy in the face of the Chinese threat and also allowing freedom of speech. Taipei has to ensure that influencers like Liu, who have amassed a lot of followers online, making videos of her everyday life in Taiwan, are not at the receiving end of the government's wrath.